How does Florida win the national title? What has to happen for them to win 2 games in San Antonio?
I mean, they're going to have to rebound like they have, right? They're going to have to rebound like they have. And you know, their biggest strength is they can rebound and get out and go. And, you know, they beat Auburn, obviously, at Auburn. If they shoot the ball well and rebound and get out in transition, they just can't keep playing with fire like they have. That scares the hell out of me. The last, you know, obviously with UConn and now this last game against Texas Tech, you can't dig a hole against Auburn. If you do that now, like Auburn's not playing around now, so you can't get off to a bad start if you're Florida. But man, the beauty with this Florida team, they have so many pieces, so many. They're going to have to find a way again to make sure that Auburn isn't, you know, try to run them off the 3-point line, I think, and you give Janai. Honestly, you're probably going to play Janai straight up as much as possible, kind of like what Michigan State tried to do, but they didn't have the personnel to be able to do it.
Yeah. Mike?
Yeah, Michigan State bailed early on the single coverage. They started double as that game went on. But yeah, I think for Florida, you talked about it with Auburn. I mean, has Florida put together a full 40 minutes in this tournament?
Nope.
That's you cannot get off to a bad start against Auburn if we want to talk about just winning this Final Four game. But I will say, I mean, Elijah Martin didn't play in that first game that they played, that first matchup. And so obviously having him back in the lineup is huge. I think, Jeff, you hit on a really good point. Being able to play single coverage in the post, like there's going to be a lot on Chinyelu, a lot on Houck, a lot on Condon to make a big impact. What's the health status of Condon? I've been mentioning it, you know, with that ankle, because those two guys were really good. Condon and Houck were huge in that Auburn game, back at Auburn early in February. So I think it comes down to, you know, to their depth and how good their depth is, because it was really good. It was really good in that first matchup. So can they put a full 40 minutes together? Because I think if you want to make the case for Florida, I do think they're the deepest of the teams remaining, in my opinion. Just guys that can come in. I mean, Aberdeen had a good game in that first Auburn matchup. You know, he's had some good games here in the tournament, and he's a guy that's coming off the bench. You know, the Houck, I think, is a guy, honestly, he's going to play in the NBA. That's not a hot take. I mean, he's going to have a long career. I'm bullish on the shooting. I think he can be a potential first-round pick next year if he doesn't end up going this year. So I'm high on their depth, and I think the depth is what would propel them to a title.
Yeah, they cannot do what they did the first game against UConn in the first half against Texas Tech, right? Like they have to come out and they have to. It feels like there's a level of. They looked like the team that's gotten the most nervous in moments. Outside of Walter Clayton, it looks like they have played the tightest when they've been down in pressure moments. And playing in San Antonio in the final, like it is nothing but pressure. There's not going to be a single possession that you play that is not every single possession is going to matter against the teams that are as good as they are in the Final Four. How does Florida handle that? If they can handle that pressure, if they can say, look, you know what, we should have lost to UConn. We should have lost to Texas Tech, and we are still here. They are the definition of survive and advance. And we know how good they are when they actually show up and they play free and they play loose and they play like a team that has the confidence to be as good as they are. If that happens, they'll win the national title.